And now, fascinating opportunity for Sama JERAQ to represent Kuwait. She and her coach, Yulia, had explained that it truly is an honor for her to be here. And how proud she and those around her are of her participation. Sama JERAQ representing Kuwait, a skater who started skating just 5 years ago, and her journey reflects not only her determination but the growing presence of figure skating in Kuwait, and her coaches are committed to the nurturing of a next generation of skaters, blazing the trail for a skating nation who hasn't had a skating presence necessarily on the international stage.
And I know that there is an initiative by the ISU to grow the sport in the Middle East, and they've had some seminars, and I think I talked about Ebegurka from Egypt sort of spearheading that, and that's just a great initiative. So we see a Middle Eastern country, Kuwait, participating in the Junior Grand Prix and getting involved, getting engaged, and hopefully inspiring another generation or a new generation of young skaters in Kuwait and around the Middle East. It's just awesome.
And when we watch Sama here, the knowledge that she's only skated for 5 years without the exposure, yes, of course, on YouTube perhaps, but without the exposure to a whole host of other athletes, just, you know, it's so inspiring. We see even there within the change foot combination spin, the attempt to try to be mindful of the new rules this year. So obviously reading and observing everything that's happening on the current stage as Coach Yulia joins.
And I would love to speak to her to find out, coming out of this competition, are you more excited about more pursuit? Because I think one of the great things about our sport is it's so difficult that every time you get a little win, and I don't mean in competition, in a practice, you know, oh, I did this, I never done this before, and I did it before. It just fuels you to continue to chase these difficult elements. So it would be really interesting to talk to her, and maybe we'll get a chance this week, I'm not sure, but it's so fun to see these athletes coming from completely different parts of the world.
And Sama, her ISU biography lists that her practice in the low season is 1 hour per week.
Oh my
practice
gosh.
in the high season, 2 hours per week.
That's
so
incredible.
This week alone in the practice,
yeah,
you know, for most of the skaters here, they do less hours when they're at the event. She'll be doing more hours just with the practices offered here on site.
And I would love to have them talk about what they love about it, you know, because this is a new country. It's not as if they've been exposed by it and watch it, right? So when you took to the ice, what was it that, what do you love about this sport, right? And hopefully, you know, different parts of the world will listen and see eventually and say, well, let's give that a try. Of course, they need to have a rink in their country first, but wow, very cool.
So cool. And it's interesting, I've been talking recently as we watched Sama just await her scores to professional skaters who no longer, they're doing other work, and they say nothing can take the place of the joy of skating.
Yeah.
Sama does.
For Sama, 9.74 for the short program. Of course, that'll put her currently in the 19th place. The numbers are irrelevant. The joy and experience is so important.